surrounded by Republicans for a change. I want to thank our chairman, Ed Cox, and I want to wish Nick Langworthy, I know he's going to do an amazing job, and I want to congratulate you, Nick, and welcome. And of course, Nicole from New York City. So I do represent both Staten Island and Brooklyn, and so I got to give it up to Richmond County and Kings County. I see our chairmans here, Brendan Lantry, Ted Gora. Thank you so much for your support. Now, as was mentioned by many of the speakers that came before me, this year in Albany, the theme seemed to be more protections for criminals and illegal immigrants, and less justice for victims and law-abiding citizens. And then, it all makes sense. That's why AJ say they pass bills in the middle of the night. When the press is sleeping, when you are sleeping, no people in the gallery, they think they can get away with what they're doing. And unfortunately, they did get away with a lot this year. In fact, I've been in the legislature now for 9 years, and most of the things that I fought against in those 9 years that we've been successful in stopping have become law. There was the bail reform, getting rid of bail for 90% of our population. As a matter of fact, if you are a woman and you are stalked, you are strangled, you had your blood flow or oxygen restricted, they will arrest the person who did that and then release them right back onto the street after a dusk appearance ticket. And does that make you feel safe? They changed sentencing for misdemeanors from 365 days to 364 days, just so they could protect individuals who are here illegally and committing those crimes. They don't want to comply with deportation, so now they changed the law to make sure they don't have to. Even this late-term abortion bill that became law. Very sad. I have news for the Democrats. Attacking a woman, assaulting her, and she loses her baby as a result of a miscarriage, that is not her choice. And that's what this law does. In fact, the first victim was just a few weeks after the bill became law. Queens DA said we can no longer charge for that second homicide because of this bill. Then we go into the budget process. We, of course, incentivized illegal immigration at a time when our president and Congress, the rational members of Congress, are trying to work together to stem the flow at our borders, to fix our broken system. What do they do here in Albany? Well, they continue to incentivize illegal immigration. Free college for illegal immigrants. In fact, it was my colleagues and I that pointed out that, we don't give this same tuition assistance or free college to the children of Gold Star men and women who are either deceased or disabled in duty. And it was because of the Assembly Minority Conference that made this a national story, that even the president tweeted what a disgrace it was that they were giving something to illegal immigrants that weren't giving to Gold Star families. We finally did get it done, but unfortunately we had to embarrass them to do it. Then there was the driver's licenses, which we've all spoken about today. But what was subsequent to the driver's license that was really even more problematic, because it attacks the integrity of the elections in our state. And as a daughter of a Cuban refugee, I can't tell you how critical it is that we ensure that we keep the integrity of our elections intact. Because we lose our elections, we lose everything. And yes, it was on the last day of session that they intended to bring a bill, yes, in the middle of the night, that would have automatically registered everyone who applies for a driver's license to vote, regardless if they came with a passport from Greece or any other country. They're still automatically registered to vote unless the person opted out. So put the burden on the individual to say, hey, I'm not eligible, I shouldn't be voting. That's what this bill would do. And then they said, when we caught them on it and exposed it, oh, it was an error. That was no error. They know how how reckless they have been under one-party rule. They know what they've done, and they know that they pissed off New Yorkers this year. And this is the way that they ensure that they continue to win these elections, not the honest way. That's what's going on here. And I'll say this. A year and a half from now, because this is my last term in the State Assembly, I will not be seeking re-election. But I will be seeking the 11th Congressional District in Staten Island and in Brooklyn. Now, I intend to be in Congress. And I intend to also take up these very same battles. Because it's no better what they're doing there under Nancy Pelosi. They too have an automatic voter registration bill which would do basically the same thing. They too have empowered a group of individuals who refuse to condemn AOC with her disparaging, horrific remarks about concentration camps. Unlike my opponent, I do not agree with AOC. I'll be very clear. I don't need to avoid a camera or avoid a reporter when they ask me. What she said is wrong, it's a disgrace, and it should never be said by anyone, let alone a member of the United States Congress. To say that Ilhan Omar should not be on the Foreign Affairs Committee. And unlike my opponent, I really have no problem voting for a resolution that condemns illegal immigrants voting in the United States of America. And I'll just conclude by saying, what we're seeing from the other side, from the other party, is really something I never thought we would see in the United States of America. And when we hear Bill de Blasio quoting Che Guevara, we hear them tripping over themselves to try to be the biggest leftist in the room. You know, I have news for the Democrats, and particularly as a daughter of immigrants, I can speak from personal experience. Millions of immigrants fled their homelands to escape the policies that you are talking about today. That's what's going to make sure that Republicans win back New York State. That's what's going to ensure that President Trump is reelected. That's what's going to ensure that I, Shel Farley, and others join Tom Reed, Elise Stefanik, Lee Zeldin, Peter King in Congress from New York. And that's what's going to make sure that we take back the House and take the gavel from Nancy Pelosi. Thank you, everyone. God bless America. Thank you all for your patriotism. And we got to get out there